Good afternoon, everyone. For our Chapter 14 homework video, we will focus on an inventory purchase budget. Okay, let's go. So our company is called the Zachary Company. They sell lamps and other lighting fixtures. The purchasing department manager prepared the following inventory purchase budget. Their policy is to maintain an ending inventory balance equal to 15% of the following month's cost of goods sold. Write that down. That's important information. April's budgeted cost of goods sold is $84,000. So we'll need the April cost of goods sold information to determine the ending inventory for the month of March. Okay? So let's take a look to see what we have. First, they've already done January. So we have the January budget cost of goods sold, the desired in inventory. Add those together to get the inventory needed. Subtract out your beginning inventory to get the required purchases on account. Okay? So our desired ending inventory for February is going to be 15% of March's cost of goods sold. So multiply 15% of 61,000. Get out my calculator. So that's going to be 9,150. Add that to your budget cost of goods sold, 55,000. So 64,150 will be the inventory needed. Subtract from that your beginning inventory. So the ending inventory from January becomes beginning inventory for February. That amount was 8,250. So subtract the beginning inventory from what was needed. So our purchase required for the month of February will have a total cost of $55,900. So let's check our work for the month of February. See how we did on those numbers. Yay! Those are all correct. So now we can go to the month of March. So they gave us April's cost of goods sold is budgeted to be 84,000. So take that 84,000 times 15%. So 12,600 is our desired in inventory for the month of March. Add that to your budget cost of goods sold. Inventory needed, $73,600 will be the total cost. Subtract from that your beginning inventory. So again, ending inventory for February, 9,150 becomes beginning for the month of March. So we're going to subtract the 70,600 minus 9,150. So 64,450 represents our required purchases for the month of March. Okay, so that will conclude part requirement A. Now let's look at B and C. B said determine the amount of cost of goods sold will report on the first quarter pro forma income statement. So we're gonna do a pro forma income statement for the first quarter of the year and determine the amount of inventory we're gonna report on a pro forma balance sheet. Okay, so the cost of goods sold is going to be all three of these amounts added together for the quarter. Got 51,000 plus 55,000 plus 61,000. So your cost of goods sold for the quarter will equal 167,000. That's the total cost of goods sold for the quarter. Again, that amount total 167,000 would be your total cost of goods sold amount. And then the ending inventory for the quarter would be the ending inventory for the month of March because March is the last month in the quarter. That amount is 12,600. So 12,006 represents our ending inventory for the quarter. And let's check our work. And those amounts are correct. So on requirement A, we prepare our inventory purchase budget, and we use that information to determine our cost of goods sold for the quarter, as well as our ending inventory amount. Okay, let's do one more. I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go to question number 1, which is a sales budget. So for our sales budget, it says the company expects a 14% increase in sales per month for February and March. The ratio of cash sales to on account sales will remain stable. So let's take a look at the transactions for January, where they gave us cash sales and the on account sales. So let's first determine the percent of our cash sales to on account sales. So you'll take the 36,000, divide that by 152,000. So our cash sales, roughly, write this down, is 23.6% of our total sales. Then your sales on account, 116,000, if I divide that by 152, it's roughly 76.31%. Okay? So our sales again are expected to increase by 14% each month. So our cash sales in January were 36,000. If I take 36,000 times 1.14, which would include the 14% increase, that's 41,040. Sales on account, 116,000 times 1.14, that'll get us 132,240. Add those two together, 41,040 plus the 132,240. It gives us total budget sale for the month of February, $173,280. Now your March sales will represent a 14% increase from the previous month, which was February. So for our cash sales, we'll take 41,040 times 1.14. And let's see, say for your final answer to 2 decimal. So that gave me 46,785.60, because we are dealing with dollars and cents. And then for your on account sales, 132,240 times 1.14, that equals 150,753.60. Let's add those two together. The 46,785.60 plus the 150,753.60. Total budget sale for the month of February, for the month of March, excuse me, $197,539.20. So let's check our work. Yep, and those are good numbers for part A. B said determine the amount of sales revenue on the first quarter pro forma income statement. So the amount of sales revenue would be the total budget sales combined for all 3 months. It'd be the 152,000 for January plus the 173,280 for February plus the 197,539.20 for the month of March. Therefore, the total sales for the quarter, $522,816.20. Let's check the work again. Uh-oh, that number was incorrect. So let's see, what are we doing correctly here? It said determine the amount of sales revenue we report on the first quarter pro forma income statement. So let's just check our numbers again and make sure that my calculations were correct. Because again, that should be our total budgeted sales, 152,000 plus 173,280 plus 197,539.20 gave me 522,819.20. Did I put in something different? Yep, I did. I put in 816. See, a simple calculation error messed me up. So let's go back. So again, that actual number should be 522. Come on. So that don't want to let me change my number. There we go. So the actual should be 522,819 and not 816.20. Now we'll check our work, and now we do have the correct response. Okay, so we've done two problems for the chapter 14 homework. And again, this chapter focuses on how to prepare what's called a master budget, our sales budget. We'll look at our inventory production budget, our selling admin expense budget, as well as a cash budget. And then we have our pro forma income statement, our pro forma balance sheet, and our pro forma statement of cash flows. Okay, so hope this information will help you in completing your chapter 14 homework assignments. Okay, bye.